Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Now, this is the second video in a series featuring AceTech, who basically sent me, they didn't send me this, I already had this, but they sent me a load of things that they have now made for this AceTech Volcano, and I'm really excited because in this video, I'm gonna basically turn this thing into something that isn't just a secondary, even though I may well just run it as a secondary. I may switch it back to what it is now, but I'm gonna basically install all the parts onto this. But the other thing I'm going to do is install this adapter kind of like thumb switch that they have created after apparently watching a couple of my videos to do a drop leg holster setup to mount this thing onto there. So what I'm going to start with today, and if you haven't seen the video, I did a full unboxing of all of this stuff, and there's quite a lot of it, so I need to make sure I'm not forgetting what I actually have here. But I think this is the first part we're going to do, which basically is going to be the mounting of this Novritsch Universal Holster system onto this drop leg that they've given me. Now, they've given me this, which is from Aromax, a low-rise drop leg duty holster. What I normally do is I actually run, instead of this, I run a QLS or a Safariland system, which has that drop leg position into it. But sorry. But what I can do is I'm going to basically, because they've sent me all these parts, create this drop leg system so that we can run it. And I actually do have a battle belt here, which used to be my main battle belt, which I actually haven't used for a while. But it's perfect because I can actually just put this AceTech holster, drop leg holster system straight onto it. So that's going to fit there fine. What I'm actually going to start by doing is installing this onto this Novritsch. Now, what he said actually is that when they saw my video is that they worked out that it is quite hard to, with the gap you have between the edge here, which is what's going to sit into this holster, and the actual grip on the, or whatever grip you're going to run on your Volcano, having the gap there to actually push this button to then release it is quite far. And for me, it's actually not too bad. It wasn't good originally when I kind of like had a makeshift version where I put an ELS system on here. But it wasn't good originally. I can actually do it now. But he did say that actually that's not necessarily going to be the case for everyone. Like, not everyone has a bigger hand. Not everyone has a grip with their, or a reach with their thumb that's going to be that far. So I think what they designed, and actually when I opened up the box in the last video, I was like, I don't know what this is. I went back and saw the messages and I was like, this is actually what they've ended up designing. So this basically is going to be a thumb extender for this actual pad, or this button here, which is going to allow it to basically have a less of a gap, or to be able to, I'm going to be this way, I think. Going to allow it to be able to attach onto, let me just see what we're looking like here. Okay, so I think it's going to be this way and this way. No, because it's going to be pushed down. So I think it's going to be like this here, and try and work this out so I can like put it together. What I'll actually do is I'm going to mount this onto here first. I don't want to lose these pieces, so I need to be careful. I'm going to mount this universal holster onto here. And what I'm going to, oh, this should be fairly easy, I'm hoping. We'll see, but this should be easy. Now, you can buy these, I think, actually on the AceTech website, these Novritsch Universal Holsters, but they are actually well built. I actually had another video as well, which you can go and check out, of me trying to 3D print a version of this, and it actually did not go that well. And what I worked out was like, you were having to buy springs or buy a magazine, like an AEG magazine, to get the spring out that you were going to put on here. And that was going to be like a $25 buy for that magazine. And it actually made way more sense just not to print the thing yourself, because the cost, do we have a, I'm going to need a larger, hold on one second, I'm going to pause it. Sorry, I just need to grab an Allen wrench or a hex key to install this. Yeah, I basically worked out that it was going to be cheaper to, instead of printing it and being like, oh, I'm saving money, look, this might not be long enough, this actual screw that's in here. What's that? We may have an issue here where I'm going to have to just go and find a bigger screw. I don't think that's sitting all the way in. So it's not quite reaching. So that's not going to have anything in there. So actually, what do we have as the mount? Did this come with the actual Novritsch holster? I'm going to have to go and get a screw that is this diameter, so maybe like an M6, but just a bit longer. I'm going to go find it. 1 second. Sorry for all this pausing. I think I've just grabbed one. So that's an M6, which looks like it's slightly longer than this. So I'm going to try and make this one work. If this fits in this gap, which feels like it's slightly wider, weirdly. Let me just make sure this fits in the actual screw before we go through this. It's going to take a different sized Allen key, which is really annoying. Is that cutting in there? It's too big. Okay, so it's slightly too big, which I'm now going to have to get out. So again, that looked like it was the same size. Slightly smaller. Okay, so I'm going to be back again. Okay, so I'm back. I've got two other variants here, slightly longer and a slightly shorter one. I think this is a better size. Yeah, okay, that one works. So let's try the shorter one. The only thing is this has got like a rounded end to it. It doesn't have that little like hex end, and I'm worried. Fits perfectly. Okay, so that's good. For once, something has gone right on an install. Okay, so, but that is the wrong size. Of course, we don't have the right size to hex key. So I'm going to have to go and get another hex key. This is a bit of a joke right now. In fact, do I have a bigger one like this? Let's go one of these. Yeah, okay. So that's going to work. Let's just go with that. Just to basically adjust that so it's going to go straight down. That's then in place. This is where it's going to be, oh wait, I should have installed it the other way first. Oh, sorry, I should have put the thumb to press piece on there before. Right, so let's see where, I think this is basically going to go on top like that. Aha, that's going to go like that. Okay, so that makes sense. Right, so this guy is going to sit right in here. And as I've just said, I don't think I could have got it any, okay. I was just thinking, okay, this is going to stop it from going. How does this work? Hold on. I'm getting this wrong again. So that has to sit there. This piece. Didn't push the whole way in. Okay, so that's now sat that whole way in. So you can see here now there's going to be clearance for it to go up and down. And then this guy is going to sit on here. So now we've got this basic block that's kind of sitting on the top here. I'm going to put these guys in here. So I'm just going to put the nuts in the back. And as I said, I don't know if this is released yet, the actual this adapter that they put on here. If not, I'm sure it will be soon, because I can already tell this is going to help a lot. If it wasn't designed by AceTech, I'd be worried right now that that isn't going to allow the actual, like that clearance there isn't going to allow this to go in. But thinking about it, it will, because it sticks out further from the Volcano, because it's got the like actual adapter plate on it, so it's not like it has to sit flush. So again, I'm basically probably just going to switch this over to my QLS mount. Let's just tighten that with this guy here. Okay, so that's now installed that on there. So I've now got this, which means that if I put this in here, my thumb can just push right there and pull. And what's clever is, so they've angled this on the bottom. So when you pull it out, you can see here, when you pull it out, you pull it up. And then obviously, because you've got that gap there, if that was flat, it would probably catch. But because you've got that, it's got this angle, so it slips out. So you can actually probably feel where you're putting it in a lot easier. So that's now solid in place. So I'm going to try that. Let's stand up and put this on. Let's go with this here. And put some of this stuff away. Let's put this on here, on this outer belt. Hopefully shouldn't be too hard. I say that now, I'm having to thread this. Okay. So we're going to go with this here. Put that onto the outer belt there. I'm then going to thread this bit through. Push this slightly over. I've actually got this molly pouch here, which is kind of annoying now that I've got it there. So that's going to be in place there. Just do this guy. I obviously need to thread this guy through here, through here. Now, usually I would do that in a belt inside my actual clothing there. So this is going to ride higher than my usual drop leg will. But now I've got that, and actually that makes it a lot easier. So now instead of having to like reach, I've just got this big thumb pad here, which I can just push that down and pull. And it's going to get used to like, where am I going to re-index it, like feeling it, because I'm so much used to it being a little bit lower than that for me. But that is pretty great. So that's going to be their design. AceTech basically created that as like a bolt-on for the Novritsch Universal Holster. You can see there I'm already getting like the muscle memory back, but that's locked in place. I can literally just indent that slightly, but that works really well. So I'm kind of happy with that. If that is something that the people watching the channel at AceTech have like come up with based on videos that I've created, it's fixed a problem, and I think that's really, like, it's a really well-designed way of doing it, because I'm not getting issues. If that was flat at the bottom there, that literally would just catch. And now it's allowed you, with that like angle that they've put on it, just to kind of slide it out and then feel it go back in. Probably what you'll end up doing is feeling where that bolt is, or putting it in with your thumb, and then feeling where that just slides down into it. It's weird doing it at an angle. So there, boom. Okay, so that is the first kind of thing that we've looked at from AceTech. So now I've kind of actually just got a full separate Volcano setup. They did also send me one of these, which I don't need because I already have one, but this is their Volcano holster adapter, which is for the Volcano. It goes onto the small attachments on the side here. But now what we can do is we can do some alterations to this. And now I wasn't actually expecting any of this stuff that they sent. So I'm quite excited to see what we can create with this, because I've seen some videos and some pictures of this online, or what people have done with it. But it allows me, instead of just running this as a secondary, I can then now run it as a full primary. Now, what is that? Is that like a trigger bolt on? I don't know what that is, but it looks like it should maybe go onto the trigger. So let's have a look at that after. I don't know why I'd want that. I like the trigger on this. It's kind of like that flat, aggressive trigger. So I don't think I'd want to change it. But we'll have a look. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is do this, which is the stock, so that we can actually kind of turn it into like a full length piece. I've actually got a real die-free grip on it, and I love how aggressive the angle is on this thing. If you've seen me use this in gameplay before, it really allows like that point and shoot. They've sent me another grip here, which I could put on, but I'm kind of tempted, and it's a really nice grip actually. It's got like a rubbery texture and feel to it, but I'm kind of tempted to keep mine on. You can see here the difference in angle. Like, it's just a lot further back. So what I might do is just keep mine on for this video. But that is something that you could, or they've given me an option to put on there. I could actually use this on a whole load of other ARs now, or other replicas. It's got a little case, a little bottom piece there to put that in. I don't know if AceTech make that specifically. Okay, so that is pretty cool. I'm gonna basically put this on first. Now, what I've had before, and actually I've never really used it, but I put this on, which is a Picatinny attachment, which just keeps, allows me to run a QD sling point. So what I also thought is, instead of having it mounted on that drop leg, I could actually just have like a little sling and just have this hanging from that little sling. So I could take my QD and just stick it onto here. Even if I was switching to my primary, just wanted somewhere to rest this. So that's a cool little thing. I think I just bought that from Amazon, very cheap. But it was something that I've had on that back pick rail. Obviously now I'm putting this on here. I'm not going to use that because I need the space to put this folding stock on. I actually kind of want to put this on a couple of other of my replicas as well. Like, it's just a... What way have they got this oriented right now? So it's going to fold like that. No, it's going to fold like that. Okay, let's get this open and put it on. Too small. The thing is, with all these attachments, if I put them on here, it is going to turn into a primary. Like, it's not going to be something that I can run as easily as a secondary. I can obviously still index it in that holster. Let me just work out this. But it's not going to be as simple. Okay, so let's put this straight so I can actually work out what we're going to... Think that looks good? I think that's going to be the right height, isn't it? Okay, so we'll go with that. I'm going to stick this guy in here. And then I'm going to put this guy in here. The thing with this though as well is this is going to be for storage, because how this actually runs, like I don't know why, but I can't now get this in. Going in. With how you reload this, it's, you know, kind of like you're opening up the side of the actual volcano. Like when I'm doing it, there's a button here, which is opening that side piece. So if I have this folded, which is going to be a push down to fold, I can't release that because that is blocking that section. Like I can't reload it while, and I've just turned it on, which is great. And it isn't a slam. Is it a rip stock? No. It's also almost pushing that button there if I push it in too hard. So I have to pull it down and then I'll do it. So it's great for storage. And actually, if you're just putting it onto the side there, but it isn't necessarily going to be that you can like reload and keep it in that position if you're wanting to just like use it in a pistol format. It is actually like when it's going in, it's very close. Like you can see there's no real like extrusion from there. So if you're keeping it like actually as a like storing it somewhere or just having it on that drop leg, it keeps it in place. It just means that to reload it, you can deploy it like that and fire it, but to reload it, you're going to have to do that. It's light, it's compact. I like the angle on it. It's kind of got that angle there. So that's going to be the first thing of what we're going to do. Now, they also gave me a foregrip, which I could run here, and that would feel pretty cool to do. But they've also, as well, given me these, which I think is going to go on the front. Now, this is going to need... Where are we going to put this? That's my question. Does that go there? No. This is a bottom pick rail, or is that for the top? I might have to get the old search out on this because it's got two holes right there where I can put stuff in. I don't know if I want to like bulk this out as much. Oh, it does go up here. So you can see here that it's got two holes where the actual buttons are going to go. So it goes right there. So actually that doesn't add any issues. However, with this on there, that is going to stop it from sitting flush. You can see there. So what I'll do is I'll attach these in. We'll just do a quick... It's given me two like screws here to put these on, which I think will be fine. And obviously it's not going to be in the way of the drop leg, which is the big thing. But I might need to get two other screws to put it in the top there. Let me just do this guy here. I think that's going to be where this goes. And this is going to be where this goes. It's kind of me guessing right now, so... That's not going to be long enough, I don't think. Oh no, that is. Okay, let's try it. Let's get a slightly smaller one of these. Too small. Perfect size. Again, we're just getting too much bag build up here. Let's turn this off. Might be a good idea. Put this in place. This guy is going to screw in here. No, No, it's not. Okay, so there is already a screw in place there. So I might need to remove that screw and this screw. And these are just going to be longer versions of the same thing. Let's check that. 1 second, my kids walked in. Okay, sorry. So my son walked in there and he's got a new present that came late for his birthday, which is, just had to run him through it. So I think there's already a screw in here. I'm going to take this screw out. Which would make a lot more sense. So I was just trying to screw a screw into a screw. Yeah, so that one's there. And then this one's just a longer version. So we'll try and put that one in here. And then we'll also get a smaller one of these. And take this small screw out. So I just got to remember to keep hold of these screws because it could be that I end up going back to regular, less bulky. So I'm a bit of like that kind of guy. If I'm not going to run this as a primary, I'm normally like, right, I'll keep it as like lightweight and not bulky as possible. Okay, so that's gone in. Which means I'll probably go back to keeping it lightweight, but it is an advantage. It doesn't seem like there's much downside to putting this pick rail on and then having an option to run just extra stuff. So that's now what it looks like, which means I've just got now 1, 2, 3, 4 different Picatinny rails on it. They've also given me a load of other Picatinny rails that are put on it, so I could just individually attach if I wanted to and just put one on the top. Actually, hold on. This is actually okay, so this rail here is a different one. Can I put this on here? No. What is this for? That's going to be to go on the stock. Aha, so this guy is going to be for a top rail, which again just makes sense because why wouldn't I put a top rail on? Put these guys here so we don't lose them. But look, if you look here, that basically is the insert where I can mount this onto the bottom of a replica. So I can do that as like an underslung grenade launcher if I wanted to. I can now put this in here, and that means if I want to, I can run a red dot on the top of it. So I'm going to get a large one of these. We're going to open it up. And this is one where I'll probably just end up keeping this on here. I can't see why I wouldn't. I do like how they've done all these, like this aftermarket stuff for this. Like it's really kind of cool that. How do I get that over this? Because there is an indent there. And I need to get this over the top of it so this can sit in that position. Will it just slip over? If I need to go in that way, then that's an issue because oh, there we go. Okay, so that's in. Yeah, I love that they've done all this aftermarket stuff on this because it is literally, it's kind of like an AAPO1 where it's taken it from being like something that can function one way to then suddenly you can turn it into like a carbine. You can, and it's not going to be, I mean, the AAPO1's not super realistic, but it's not going to be super realistic. It's definitely getting heavier, but this thing is so lightweight anyway that it's really not added much weight at all. I mean, if I'm now putting attachments on here, that could change quite a lot. Now I want to know where this is going to go. Because if I want to put this on here, what does that, like, where does that go? Does that... Oh, hold on. No. Thinking, because that go right there, so then I can have extra pick rails on the side. Like that is like an insert, and I'm trying to think where that would specifically sit. I might quickly just have a look on the website and just see where this is going to go, because I don't want to do this video and then not show you guys what this is for. Can that go there? No, because it won't go into that actual thing. Okay, I'm just going to quickly check on the website. Again, pausing. This is a big pause video, and I'll see you in a sec. Okay, so I just went on the AceTech website and checked it, and basically this can go into that location. So I don't think I can run it with this on here. It's just going to basically, sorry, it's going to go in this location. It's going to mean that I can run 2 separate grenade launchers on that side if I wanted to. What I can now do if I want to is to put this in place. And I don't think I want to. I don't think I need it. Again, it feels like they've sent this to me and it feels bad that I don't do it. But I don't think I need to, so I'm not going to do that. The other thing I can now do is take this. And this allows me to mount 2 extra pieces onto here, which, again, I don't know how I would, like, this will work, and I could put 2 extra AceTech like shells into here if I want to. Like this will take this in here. I'm trying to think which way I put it in. Like that. So I can mount those like that, but then also that's going to stop me from folding this. Like I'm not going to be able to fold it. If I put it on this side, I can fold it. However, if I'm aiming, that's going to put that in my face, which I'm not as keen about, to be honest. So I might put that there just so then I've got the option. Or, you know, what's kind of annoying is they've got this on here. If you're watching this AceTech now, maybe make an adapter so that I can mount that onto other stuff, because this would be so good to be able to put onto anything I want. Like to be able to just attach that onto like a side or a little clip or something. They may already do that, but I just think that would be, for me, a big bonus, not mounting it in the actual stock there. I'm trying to think, is there another location I can put this in? No. So do I put that on there? No, I'm not going to. I'm going to leave that off. But that basically, guys, if you want to, allows you the option to mount wherever you're putting that, a couple of extra ones of these on there. Why it's going to be that side, because for me, that's just going to get in the way of where I'm. Like I normally will bring my head face down below, and that won't go far enough up that way to do it. Yeah, I'm going to leave that off, but that basically is what this function is for. I'm going to then grab this guy. Where did I just put the actual mounting attachment for this on? So there. So that's the piece that will go through the other side of the stock. Then what we're going to do is we are going to put these on. Now, I would think that I'm going to put one of these on lower. Now, the good thing with this is it basically means that I can mount, and I can mount this onto other things, which is probably where I would go with it. But this takes this little cartridge right here, And it means that I can now suddenly have one of these guys in here. I think I just click it in. Yeah, one of these guys in here, and that one thumb button is going to allow me to deploy that. So it is the most minimal, like 40mm grenade launcher. Now, how do I get this out? Oh, there we go. Okay. This is like the most minimal 40mm grenade launcher that you could ever have. So I think I will mount this onto something else. I would mount it onto like one of my ARs or anything which has got a pick rail on it. And it's just good to have it because it's an Action Army like actual product. But what I love about this is I have the option for the trace. Like I can basically have a tracer that's going to fire. And as soon as I take that and I put it on the outside, I'm not going to have the same tracer effect when it fires. It's great as a backup, as like oh wait, I'm just going to like last minute use my extra if I need to. And I suppose you could use it as storage and not do it. But if you accidentally clip that, that is going to deploy it. And it doesn't look like this has a safety on it. So that's another thing just to think about. But what I would probably end up doing is putting one there. And then if I really wanted to be nasty, I could just pull the trigger on this and push my thumb at the same time and just deploy that, which would be pretty bad, to be honest. I think that would be pretty mean to someone. You're basically putting like 200 BBs into their face. Oh, you can slam. I can slam this now, yeah. Okay, let me just quickly, I'm going to show you what this is going to look like on this drop leg now. So I could basically almost run 2 primaries with this format. I can have my little guy here, which has the stock on it. So I can just pull that, deploy it, boom, 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 boom. If I can actually show you as opposed to not. So I've got this here. And then if I want to deploy that, I can just use this thumb lever, pull it, rip that, and then if I've got those like extra pieces on here where I could attach it, I don't know, if I deploy it like this, I mean, you can still make it work, but obviously you've got this thing hanging out in front of you. But for a quick, just like, oh wait, I need to go back to my primary, it's quite good to have that there as well. So guys, that's going to be my video here of this build. I think I might keep it like this, but without the stock on it. And I might try and put this stock on something else. I've got a couple of other little PDW builds that I might try and put the stock on, just because it's so compact and easy. And it's also got a QD mount right there. Or I might run it like that and then have that option, because it doesn't add much weight to it, which is the kind of the great thing. But obviously you've seen kind of all the extra stuff that I could have put on here. I just don't think I'm going to use it that way. So it's kind of a bit pointless for me to build it out. Plus, I'm sure there's other videos. But having these pick rails here is great. And I'll probably end up just keeping those on there. I like this Difrico grip on here just because of the angle of it. Obviously, you can put something like that on there if you wanted to. But again, I like this grip. So I might put this onto something a bit different. But guys, that's kind of like me going through it. Really, the main point was to demonstrate this right here, this thumb piece, which works perfectly. So yeah, so if AceTech don't make it right now, keep an eye out for that, because if you're going to run this in that format, I don't know why you wouldn't put one of these on. There's no real downside to it. It's just going to give you a better control. If you've got gloves on, you're going to know where that is a lot easier than trying to find that little thin one when it's that far away from the actual volcano as you're deploying it. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'll be back soon with another video. I'm going to be doing another review of the AceTech AK Blaster on my old school AKM, so stay tuned for that, and there'll be tons and tons of other stuff coming up. All right guys, thank you so much for being here, and have a great day wherever you are.